In a pulse-pounding moment, glass shatters as our fierce protagonist confronts a mysterious guy, sweat dripping down his face. He warns her to leave, afraid he might lose control and hurt her. But she's fearless, brushing off his concerns with a bold, "Even if I get hurt, I won't die. Just hold me." How did they end up in this intense, tangled mess? It all started with her one burning goal: to win the heart of Giulio Parenti, a dangerous and unhinged villain who thrives on chaos. She's willing to do whatever it takes, no matter how dark or risky. Even when she stabbed him, he shockingly liked it, grinning through the pain. That's when things got complicated. She's terrified of losing him, even more than she fears death itself. Meanwhile, he's been ready to face his end from the start, carrying a heavy burden of his own. Their twisted connection only deepens as he throws her words back at her. "I may be the villain, but you're the one using me." In a dimly lit taxi, our badass heroine, Hana Lee, sits in the back seat, feeling woozy. The driver flashes a creepy smile, noticing she seems tipsy, and asks if she's been having a rough time. Hana mutters she's dizzy, fighting to stay awake, but her eyes betray her, and she slumps over. The driver smirks, stopping the car, and tells another guy to grab her quick. Just as they think they've got her, Hana snaps awake, catching them off guard. "What are you doing?" she demands. The driver grins, telling her to stay still. "They're just going to have some fun." Big mistake. Hana smirks, warns them to back off, and bam! She nails the guy in front with a swift kick, leaving him regretting his choices. Cue the police rolling in. Lieutenant Park storms up, yelling "Hana!" and sighs, not surprised she's in the middle of this chaos. Two cops nearby whisper about her epic reputation. "You don't know Sergeant Hana Lee?" one says. "She's a top counterterrorism agent, scouted by a private military company from a special missions unit. Never failed a mission, and there's a huge bounty on her head." They're even more shocked to learn she has a twin brother, Dooyi, in the intelligence service, making her a total legend. One cop wonders why Dooyi's in Korea. Will he join their team? Meanwhile, Lieutenant Park is chewing Hana out. "I told you not to go too far," he shouts, eyeing the beaten-up bad guys. Hana shrugs, all casual. "I was drunk, acting in self-defense. Maybe I got a bit carried away." She hands over evidence, a recording of the creeps threatening her with a knife. "That's attempted robbery, assault, and intimidation," she says coolly. Changing out of her messy clothes, Lieutenant Park groans but admits she nailed it. Hana, ever the hustler, demands a paycheck since Park's likely getting a promotion for this arrest. He rolls his eyes but agrees, promising to pay her after his next paycheck. "Now, let's cool off this crazy day with some soju," he says. Hana nods, smirking, but insists he keeps her name out of the report. She's got to stay low-key. Then Park asks about her brother, Dooyi. "How's he doing? Where's he at?" Hana says he's been jet-setting, 2 months ago in the US, then Spain, and last week he mentioned Cambodia. Park nods, impressed. Dooyi's killing it in the overseas narcotics team after leaving the Navy's elite underwater demolition team. Hana beams with pride, saying her brother's a genius, not just because he's her twin. But then her phone rings, shattering the moment. It's a call from the National Security and Intelligence Service. The voice on the other end is grim. "Are you Dooyi Lee's sister? We're sorry, your brother didn't make it through his last mission." Inside the police car, Lieutenant Park calls out to Hana, asking how much longer she'll be on the phone. But then he freezes as her scream pierces the air. On the call, Hana's voice breaks. "No way Dooyi's gone, it can't be true!" She collapses, tears streaming, the pain hitting like a tidal wave. It's like her world's gone dark, a cruel nightmare. Memories flood back. Little Hana and Dooyi struggling together, him promising to protect her when they grew up. Later that night, Hana drags herself from bed, staring at a photo of her and Dooyi. "You're why I came to Korea," she whispers. Suddenly, a phone rings. Confused, she traces the sound to a hidden hole in the wall, finding a burner phone. Her heart races. "Please, let it be Dooyi." She answers, and a crackly voice says her name, but the signal's weak. "Don't talk, don't hang up," she urges, vowing to track the location. The agency said Dooyi was dead, but this call proves he's alive, likely using an untraceable device. He's in trouble, and Hana knows she has to get to Cambodia ASAP to save her brother before it's too late. Meanwhile, in sunny Sicily, Italy, Giulio Parenti, call him Jew, the slick capo of the Sicilian mafia, rises from his pool. His bodyguard delivers bad news: their goods were stolen in Cambodia. Jew's eyes narrow. Who was in charge, he asks. The guard says Niccolo, who got taken out at the scene. Jew smirks, unfazed. Get everything ready. We're going, he says, his grin dangerous. I bet they're waiting for me. At the airport, Hana's on a tense call with Tae-jun, who's sobbing, apologizing for failing to protect her brother, Dewey. Hana snaps, "Stop crying and answer me. Where's Dewey's body?" Tae-jun admits they couldn't find it after a bomb exploded. He thinks Dewey stole something from the mafia, and they sent a bomber to take him out. Hana scoffs, unconvinced, and orders Tae-jun to meet her at Phnom Penh Airport's main exit by 9:20 a.m. local time. You didn't find his body? Well, I'm finding him, alive, she vows to herself, her determination fierce. In the scorching streets of Phnom Penh, Cambodia, Hana fans herself, grumbling that Tae-jun said he'd swing by his office for just a minute. Where is he? Right then, Tae-jun calls her name, waving from a tuk-tuk. Where's your car? She asks, suspicious. He shrugs, saying he's off duty, and the office stop was for something urgent. Hana narrows her eyes but hops into the tuk-tuk. Handing him an iPad, she demands coordinates for where he last saw Dewey. Tae-jun explains it was 75 kilometers north, near Siem Reap, in a small village. He warns her, you shouldn't get involved. The intelligence service can't know you're here. It'll get messy. Hana snatches the iPad back, glaring. You've got everything on Dewey's last mission, right? His contacts, the drug he took, his clothes, his transport, every detail. Spill it, or I'll show you messy. Tae-jun sighs, agreeing, but says this is the last time he's helping. At Dewey's apartment, Hana scans the tidy space, noting the neatly arranged drinks in the fridge. So like Dewey, she thinks, but his death? That doesn't add up. Tae-jun reveals they were tracking a new drug, Ka947A, tied to the Italian mafia. It's disguised as medicine, unlike most illegal substances. But Dewey went silent before their meetup. When Tae-jun found him, it seemed Dewey was working solo and had ties to the mafia, which shocked him. Hana listens, wary. Can I trust Tae-jun? She wonders. He might have already snitched to his bosses. I'll keep him close but at a distance and squeeze out every bit of info on Dewey. She's on high alert, noticing odd details in the apartment. The drink placement, the clothes hangers. Then she spots a lamp in Dewey's room, a secret projector. Desperate, she phones someone. A man answers, his voice chilling. It's been a while. Hana's call to Logan starts with an awkward silence. He breaks the ice, teasing her about being drunk and accidentally dialing him like an old flame. Ouch! That's exactly why she didn't want to call. Trying for normal, she asks how he's been, but he quickly shuts down the pleasantries. He knows she's in Cambodia and wants to know why. Hana, playing it cool, jokes that he must be her ex-lover or a stalker. Logan matches her energy, laughing. How could I possibly live without stalking you? This is her opening. Hana jumps in. Guess that means I can ask for a favor. She needs his help, and in exchange she's offering him something he can't refuse, inside information on a massive case she's working on. She promises he'll love it. Logan is intrigued. What sort of case is it? Hana drops the bombshell. It involves the mafia, specifically Giulio Parenti, the head of the Teonimo crime syndicate. Logan is immediately hooked. Say no more. You've got my attention. That's a monster of a case you've reeled in there. He promises to be there as fast as he can. Before they hang up, he asks if she needs anything else. Hana's request is simple but deadly. Weapons. All the things I used to use. Logan has her covered. He'll send the time and location. Hana hangs up, a steely look in her eyes. Once she finds Dewey, he's going to be in major trouble. Welcome to Valentine's Day. The name of the private military company, PMC, is Valentine's Day. Don't let the name fool you. They only take on high-stakes missions, and when they come for their targets, it only spells the end. Hana arrives at their safe house in Cambodia on a motorcycle. Oslo, a fellow operative, quickly rushes out for a hug, full of hope, asking if this means she's rejoining the team. Hana gently lets him down, saying she just needs help with a task. Oslo is clearly sad, but she pats him and asks to see Logan. He tells her Logan is in the office, and suddenly, he understands why his boss showed up out of the blue. Hana insists she needs to see him right away. Logan Valentine, head of the Valentine's Day organization, meets with Hana to discuss business. Logan first asks Hana about her twin brother. She reveals that while the official report states he died during a mission, he is actually alive and has been secretly compiling intelligence on the Russian and Italian mobs. Hana suspects her associate, Giulio, may be involved in the overall situation. Logan, familiar with the Italian crime groups, finds the information strange. He notes that Parenti, the mob boss, is not the type to kidnap someone. He would simply have them killed to avoid wasting time. Logan also mentions that two other major figures, Smith and Petrov, have been closely aligned with Parenti since a major terrorist incident occurred in Chicago about a year ago. Regarding the final person on the board, Moojin Kang, a rising wealthy figure, Logan states he is a client and keeps his information confidential, emphasizing that Yoo would never get involved in petty drug deals. Hana suggests the simple explanation could be that someone is impersonating Parenti, a common trick among criminals, though she wonders why her country's intelligence service didn't consider this possibility first. Their conversation is interrupted by a man who introduces himself as Eunseong Yoo. He offers a critical update. The strange information they received this morning may have been intentional. He reveals that Parenti's assets were genuinely stolen by a Cambodian criminal organization called MESA. Eunseong then formally shakes Hana's hand, marking his entry into the events. Hana greets the man politely and shakes his hand, wondering to herself if he might be half Korean. Eunseong smiles and says he hopes he can be of help while she's in Cambodia, that it's always nice meeting Koreans there. Hana replies that if he really can help, she won't refuse the offer. The next morning, outside Dui's apartment, Taejun steps out, worried because he can't reach Hana. Just then, Hana jogs up to him, sweaty from her morning run. Taejun yells, asking if she knows how risky it is to walk around like that. Hana tells him to calm down and go inside since it's too hot. Inside, Hana drinks some water while Taejun warns her that if she ever needs to go anywhere, she should go with him. He says it's dangerous for her to move around alone. Hana looks at him and says he's right. There's still so much she doesn't know, not just about her brother's case, but about him too. Then suddenly, she pulls out a gun and points it at him. She calls his name, telling him to make the right choice. She says the information he gave her was full of holes, especially about the surveillance video. She asks if he noticed how strange Dui's actions were in the dashcam footage. Dui entered the building with the mobsters, but was dragged back out right before the explosion. She asks why they would push his face toward the camera if they were going to harm him. Doesn't it seem staged? The intelligence service declared him gone based only on that video, but it's not even the original copy. It's been edited. Hana narrows her eyes and demands to know if Taejun has anything to say about that. Taejun takes a deep breath and says they actually found a body wearing a suicide vest. It was so badly damaged that they couldn't confirm anything through an autopsy, but the body had Dui's dog tag, so everyone assumed it was him. Taejun insists he's telling the truth. Hana stares coldly and says from now on, he's part of the case. She tells him to stop spying on her, and she'll pretend to believe his story. She orders him to tell his superiors that she hasn't left Dui's apartment since yesterday. Taejun agrees, but before he can react, Hana silently takes him out. Just then, Eunseong walks in, clapping slowly. He says what a heartbreaking betrayal. Hana replies that it's too early to call it that. They'll see how things end. They both step outside. Hana gets on her motorcycle, ready to leave. Eunseong asks if she's heading out now that she's free of that distraction. She nods and says Logan gave her the coordinates to a safe house. Apparently, the Cambodia crime group might be heading there. Eunseong agrees, saying it's the perfect spot and she should stay low until she gets further orders. He adds that Parenti will soon make a move since some of his things were stolen. Hana says she plans to sneak in before they arrive, and Eunseong tells her not to worry because their side has the upper hand. They lock eyes for a moment, tension thick in the air. Hana says he sounds very confident, and he smiles, saying that's because he is. She smirks and says she can tell. He leans closer and asks if she's seeing anyone. Hana blinks and asks why he wants to know. He smiles, saying it's because he's interested. She laughs, and he chuckles, saying he'll back off before he gets scolded again. He wishes her luck, saying he hopes she makes it out alive. Hana speeds off on her bike, leaving Eunseong watching her go, whispering to himself that she's something else. What an interesting woman. Later that evening, Hana arrives at Valentine's Day's safe house. She looks around quietly, thinking that the group has been in and out a lot lately. The place is filled with weapons, all ready for use. She sighs, staring at them and wondering what kind of mess Du-yi dragged her into this time. Everything seems set, but deep down she wishes for one more sign that her brother is still alive. Days pass as Hana prepares for the mission. One night, she's on a call with Logan. He asks if everything's okay on her end, and she says yes, nothing has happened yet. She admits she almost feels too relaxed, but there's something she's been meaning to ask. She asks about Eunseong Yoo, wondering if he's really part of Valentine's Day because he wasn't wearing any of their badges. Logan pauses, then says, "No comment. Liu is a tough one to handle." Hana frowns, confused, saying she's never heard that name before. Just then she hears a sound, drops her phone, and reaches for her gun. A voice behind her says calmly, "Edward Liu, that's what I go by in the US." It's Eunseong. From the phone, Logan's voice says, "Told you Liu isn't easy to deal with." Hana hangs up and asks coldly why he would show up without warning. Eunseong smiles and says he likes surprising people. It's not like she gave him much of a choice. He gestures for her to sit. They sit facing each other. Hana asks why he came all the way here. He says he thought she might be bored. She glares, telling him to stop joking, and he admits he has personal business. He has his own score to settle with Mesa. Hana freezes. Mesa, the group she's supposed to investigate, the same cartel holding power in Cambodia. They weren't satisfied stealing from Parenti, so they took out someone from the Sicilian Mafia. She wonders how Eunseong got tangled up in this and what Logan was thinking pairing them. Eunseong cuts into her thoughts, saying she shouldn't worry. He won't get in her way. She'll handle Parenti, and he'll deal with Mesa, just like planned. Hana suddenly grabs him by the shirt, demanding to know who he really is. He smirks, asking if he ever said he was a Valentine's Day agent. All he said was that he'd help her while she's in Cambodia. Didn't she remember? Hana narrows her eyes and asks who he's working for, but before he can answer, her phone rings. It's Logan. He quickly says Mesa is on the move. They'll arrive at the coordinates in 3 hours. There are 40 men, all heavily armed, traveling with 1 trailer, 2 containers, and 6 trucks. Parenti's people have noticed and are chasing them. He asks if she can handle it. Hana tightens her grip on the phone, thinking to herself, if he's asking whether she can handle it. If you're eager for the next chapter, drop a comment expressing your interest in a part 2. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Until next time, ciao!